Welcome, Nick from Healthy Bastari. Today we're working on an exercise routine to release a bit of our quads. Our quads are our muscle that are crossing over our hips and knees, and the tendency is to use them a lot as we're sitting, as we're walking or biking. We want to make sure to release our knee muscle to release the tension on your patella. So let's work on that together. First, we're going to start just with a mat. I want us to fold the mat a tiny bit so that we can protect our knees, and we're going to kneel on one of them. So again, fold it to where you need to be comfortable. We're going to lean forwards and we're going to stretch out the hip flexor. So I want us to brace our core, squeeze our glute, and make sure that we're feeling this hip flexor release. We can raise one arm, we can raise the other. If you have the balance, if you feel uncomfortable, just raise that one arm. You can even go wider with the leg and just hold here. Chest out, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core. Deep breaths. Again, focusing on this release of that hip so that the knee doesn't have to be totally pulled from this long muscle crossing that hip. Deep breaths. And slowly relax. Good. Now switch legs. Again, try to go wide so that you really find your hip and balance. You can raise the arm, make sure you keep your shoulders down. And you squeeze your glute, you brace your core, and you're going to find that tension again. You can even tilt a bit in the inside to deepen that stretch. And slowly relax. Nice. So we're releasing our hip flexors. Now let's try to release the quadricep in its more distal end and around the knee. So what we're going to work on is pulling your leg. If you can't reach your leg, you can always grab your pants or use some sort of elastic or just a towel. That works too. I'm going to use an elastic to show you. You're pulling here, try to be nice and comfortable with your head, and you're just trying to open up your hip. As you open up that hip, you're going to really pull back onto that leg and find that stretch all around that front thigh. Now you're taking deep breaths, you're bracing your core, making sure that you're not too tight on the knee itself. If you're feeling pressure around the knee, just release a bit. Focus on bringing that hip back and slowly release that tension. Now, before we switch to the next side, we're going to work on the same exercise or same position. So we're here, we're pulling, and if you're really feeling that side pain, maybe when you're doing this is going to be great because we're going to stretch out a bit of your TFL, which is a small muscle in front of your thigh. I call it the pocket muscle because it's right next to your pocket usually. And then you're just working on pushing down with that leg, that bottom foot pushing into the side of your thigh, and you're feeling that stretch again in the same part as before, and a bit on the side, and slowly relax. We're holding about 30, 60, even 90 seconds. That's totally fine. Let's switch sides. The goal is for you to find release in the tension. If you don't find release, you can do this multiple sets. So we're starting here, back to our just normal quad stretch. And why are we doing this laying down? As we get more stability, than when we're standing, and we don't want to load the other leg and create any feeling of being unbalanced. So we're really stable, we can really focus on that hip opening. The shoulder stays down, try not to raise the shoulder, right? Open that chest. You might even feel a bit of a stretch in the chest. And then let's bring the other leg into that second exercise directly. So we're really just pushing down, find that outer thigh stretch, a bit also in the pocket muscle, the TFL. And you're just breathing into that tension and release it. There you go. The moment has arrived for you to take care of that knee pain so that once we can go back outside and really walk around, you're not feeling restricted. So when we come back is going to pull that mat again. We're going to lean into it. And now we're going to take a tiny step a bit more to the side, and you're going to feel that inner thigh stretch. So as your inner thigh stretches, and again the hip flexor, just come back to the second set here. And that combination of hip flexor and adductor stretch is great to release that hip from a day of sitting. If you're working behind your home office in this specific time. And we slowly relax. Again, just showing you an angle here so you can see we're doing a slightly different move. We're really tilting sideways, opening the hip, open that chest, shoulder down. Again, option to raise both arms, always a possibility if you have that stability, and keep that chin in. Deep breaths. That's it. And slowly relax. That's it. So we're finding a bit of more release in the hip. Now, we're going to come off and we're going to start turning on the muscles behind the hamstrings and the glutes, which are going to help you deload the knees. So we want to strengthen the opposite muscles. So in this case, I like to always keep my shoulders into the floor so that we really open up from our rounded day. And we're going to simply work on bridges. So the bridge is pushing up. You're going to look back a bit, keep the space in your neck here. And then we're going to slowly come down, flatten your back, brace your core. And in this case, there's no space between my lower back and the floor. Exhale, you're finding your glutes, you're burning your glutes as you're pushing into the heels. You're not pulling with your heel, you're pushing down. You're coming back down, brace the core. Breathe in. Exhale up. Breathe in. We're going to do 12 together. Again, find that core tension. Again, if you feel like your shoulders are rounding, just get the elbows into the ground as well. That's it. Flatten that back. Exhale up. Inhale down. Brace the core. Exhale up. You're doing great. We're almost there. The tempo is slow, controlled. Count about 4 seconds up. Hold for 2. And slowly come down as well. And relax. Nice. So if you find yourself, that was too easy, then we can always do it on one leg, keeping the other leg straight into the ground. You're really pushing off your left in this case. And you come back down, you brace your core, and again you would switch legs after 8 to 12 reps. Now we're going to work on the hamstrings. So the hamstrings in this case, we're lifting those toes and we're working on really pulling on the heels. So in this case, you don't really need anything else than just the floor to really work on the backside. And you're pulling, slowly coming down, brace the core, find that tension. Exhale up, find the burn. Breathe in. Again, hamstrings are engaged. You might feel a bit of your glutes. If you don't feel it yet, it slowly comes in as you are in control of the move. Brace the core. Exhale. Breathe in. You might feel it a bit on the shins as you're raising those toes. You're doing great, everyone. Keep the shoulders down. Again, focus on that core every time. Breathing in, down. Exhale. 2 to go. Last one. Exhaling up. And slowly relax. Now if you want to make it harder, you can always maybe put your feet on a chair and do the same exercise. You can also straighten out the leg a bit more and work on the pull. You'll just feel a bit different. You're working on a different length in terms of the muscle tension. So that's going to be great to really strengthen the backside, stabilizing the knee. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to keep watching other videos that might be related to you, any other injuries that you might have, or subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching and see you at the next time.